Hello there, Vic Benedict here. We're playing Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge on the PC, and this is my guide and walkthrough for Ultimate Ninja difficulty. And welcome to the walkthrough. This is day 1 of 8, and as I mentioned, it is being played on the PC. And Ultimate Ninja difficulty, I'm not sure if it comes unlocked on the PC version, but I do know that on the Series X you have to go through, and I presume you have to do this on the PC too. And it's from the Master Collection that came out in 2021. You have to clear Hard and Master Ninja difficulty to play Ultimate Ninja difficulty. And you'll want to go through those difficulties, obviously, to unlock it. But collect all the golden scarabs, and that will give you the plethora of upgrades that you'll be able to start using karma to purchase right away. Now, the best weapon by far is the scythe. I would recommend purchasing that as quickly as possible. It only costs 10,000. I pick up the Flying Swallow, I think, at the end of this fight. The Flying Swallow is 50,000, so you can kind of see the odd nature of the expensive weapons on this game. You'll definitely want the scythe up to level 3 as fast as you can, and the upgrade path that we'll be doing will be the scythe to level 3. We're not going to be upgrading the Inferno. We'll purchase, just purchase the Nimpos because they're only 10,000, but don't upgrade them. You only want to upgrade the, well, not upgrade, but you want to purchase the true Inferno for $1 million. That is going to cost you, a lot of karma because it's $1 million, but the other thing is to get the scythe to level 3. Level 2 is 300,000, and then level 3 is 800,000. So it is highly possible to upgrade the scythe to level 2 by the time you get about midway through the chapter, and that's what we're going to be doing. Also, to get the most karma, and karma is what you use to purchase upgrades. To get the most karma off of battles, you want to get the double S rank if you can. The S rank for health and time is what it is. So you have to have almost full health, like 100% health nearly, to get the S rank for health. And then, of course, with time, it's going to vary depending on fight to fight. So I do try whenever possible to get the double S's, but what I wanted to make clear is that this is a beginner's walkthrough, in as much as it's not a beginner's walkthrough in the sense that if you've gone... by the way, I'm doing this small fight over here, just for some extra karma. It's not ranked, and I just keep doing it until I don't lose too much health. But I am going to pick up, I think, the Wind Path over here. Oh no, I'm sorry, the Flying Swallow and the Scythe. In as much as, to start playing an Ultimate Ninja, you have to have gone through Hard and Master Ninja. So in that sense, it's not a beginner's walkthrough. But I will be picking up all the scarabs. The reason that they're silver is because the first time you play through the game and collect them, they're gold, and then thereafter they're silver. But I believe they're worth the same amount. I'm not sure why they couldn't just keep the gold color, but the problem about this stage is that the dragon sword that you start out with, it can do a tremendous amount of steel on bones. So the trade-off with it, I mean, you can get up to like 4 or 5 on occasion, and that just goes against the whole system of how many steel and bone chain links you can do. But I don't know, maybe they give it a little break because it is the first weapon and it has no reach. So you want to try to get it in the midst of, clusters of enemies, get as close to them as possible. What you'll see me do is sever an appendage of one of these enemies. These guys here are in most every fight, and after you hit them with the X button a couple of times, they'll lose a limb, and then what they're going to do, if you go near them, is they're going to attempt to grab you. And what I do is I sever the limb of one of them, and then I go near him by either sliding over to him or jumping near him. You can do one of two things about countering the grab. You can dash out of the way a bit and then press Y, which is, I think, safer. Or you can just press Y. But if anything touches you and you're just pressing Y, you're going to get grabbed. So I think it's a little safer to move out of the way first, because the window for the parry off their grab is really long. So you have a long time to do it. And that's basically what you want to set up for your Steel on Bone links. Shoot for Bloody Rage 3.0. Try to sustain it as much as possible. You see on the bottom left it says 3.0. Anytime the Bloody Rage is like that in those red flashing letters, it means you can do an instant ultimate technique, and the strength of it will be dictated on what level you have of the weapon. So if you have the weapon up to level 3, it will do a level 3 UT, level 2 a 2-1. For these pirates down here, I call them pirates. I'm not sure why. I just always called them pirates since the Wii version. But they have an Ultimate Ninja specialty, where after you counterattack one, and then if you include them in a chain, they will break the chain. So right here, see how you're caught in that animation where you're tapping X or Y, and they break the chain? That only happens on Ultimate Ninja difficulty. So they're just too good to be included in a Steel on Bone chain. They're above it. So that's what I do. And then on these glow stick heavies, you can just kind of wait around and let them parry. You can do the same thing with the pirates too, but you got to be careful because they have a really fast grab that will instantly kill you pretty much if you're not at full health. Okay, so there's the next silver scarab. And yes, that is my preferred way of playing the game, because what I'm going to try to get you through is to get you through the fights and earn the maximum amount of karma possible. And the reason you want to upgrade the scythe is because not only is it the best, most versatile, and the strongest weapon in the game, but it has the most reach to it for Steel on Bones. And it's important to upgrade that weapon because it's going to start paying for itself. Now, you can only do a limited number of Steel on Bones with weapons. Now, I don't know why the Dragon Sword you could do so many, but with the other weapons... Oh, here I'm going to get the wind path. With the other weapons, each additional time you level up a weapon, you get an extra link in a Steel on Bone chain that you want to do. So if you upgrade your scythe to level 3, for instance, you'll be able to do 3 extra kills in addition to the first guy that you kill that starts the chain. So you'll be killing 4 enemies. And then I like to save the Bloody Rage for these guys here. Sometimes it will delimb them, sometimes not. But with these guys here, they will either counter your attempt to Steel on Bone them. So what I do is once I delimb one of them, I'll try to hang around him as much as I can. You got to stand still so that he'll take the bait, but he'll attempt to grab you. And if these guys are not shielding, that is, if they don't have their magic barrier up, you can include them in steel and bone chains. And the reason I'm using the scythe, so see, like right here, I was able to kill one extra guy there because not only can I do that with a level 1 weapon, but he was not shielding. So it's all situational with these guys, and I don't like them. And what I would recommend to you on these guys is to just UT them, because it's a good way of killing them. You couldn't do it in the original game, and it's effective. I think it's a good happy medium to deal with an enemy that it's not particularly enjoyable to fight. I don't find them fun to fight. But the problem with the whole thing about waiting around is that when you are just standing still waiting for one of them to grab you, the others are always, they're always mobile too, so you can get caught up in grabs and other things. So when you come up this street over here, you can get damaged by these projectiles, but once the chopper comes, that's your help, and you're not going to be at any more risk. If you try to fly swallow these enemies by the sandbags, you can launch yourself over the sandbags and skip this fight. It's not a lucrative fight by any means or anything like that, but see how they resist? I really don't like that at all. I recently played through hard in Master Ninja on the Series X, hoping to do my guide on the Series X, and I noticed that nonsense about them breaking your chain, it's an Ultimate Ninja exclusive. I thought it was on Master Ninja too, but it's only on Ultimate Ninja. This is a really awkward part. Not only do you have to be in full stealth mode to not arouse these guys' suspicions, but you have to keep a really wide berth of them. Don't go anywhere near them. Just try to circle around them as much as you can. And definitely keep the scythe on for the boss. But we are going to be facing spider tanks periodically in the game. And there's only one instance where you don't have to fight it. It's on day 8 where you can just do the quick time event. But notice that there is one lackey over here, and I think at the end of the fight too there's a lackey. All I do is I fly swallow him. Now on this boss, you just want to use the scythe to destroy the shielding on its 4 legs. But don't start participating in the quick time events until all of the shielding is off all 4 legs, because if you do start actually cutting off its legs, it does this pulse attack that's like a barrier and a projectile at you, and it's very easy to get caught up in a bunch of chaotic gunfire. And see how we have the shielding off one. So if you do get caught up in the quick time event, just simply press nothing and just fail it on purpose. So just watch out for the flamethrower, and keep your ear out for your ear open, for this thing. It does this little beep where it telegraphs that it's going to shoot a projectile at you. It's like a rocket, that rocket right there. But it does have that audio telegraph that it's going to do it. So don't get too reckless about doing your attacks. Beg off a little bit and just wait for the tell. Just listen for it, and then you need to dash out of the way of the explosion that occurs once you chop off the leg. See the explosion? You can get caught up in that. but it's much more practical to do it this way. He locked onto the wrong thing right there. And I think at this point too, somebody else. Yeah, it looks like somebody else on the ground was shooting at me. So yeah, there's another lackey. That's kind of funny. I never even noticed that there's another lackey at the end there. And then as far as what I do usually for the upgrades, the health upgrades, because you get 5 of them, you want to use those for healing items, and you want to use those wherever you're, least comfortable in the game getting through, and have that for a fallback. I typically use the first upgrade in the next chapter on the chopper boss, on one of the final phases of it, because it has lackeys and it's really difficult. Now these armored tactical ninjas, they're really tough. You've got the ones that shoot the grenade launchers. You've got a couple of those ones in a couple spots. What I would do is, you noticed I started off with a lunar UT. That was to bloody the enemies and provoke them to grab me back here. The bloodier enemies are in this game, the less resistant they will be to like flying swallows, Azuna drops, guillotine throws. If they're not bloodied, you have a hell of a hard time doing those types of things, because they'll slip right out of it. So the bloodiness of the enemies, it dictates what you can do to enemies. So if enemies are not bloody, they just will resist the hell. I'm talking about beheadings, guillotine throws especially, just the normal things that you would be able to do in the other Ninja Gaidens, like Ninja Gaiden 2 and things like that. You could do an Azuna drop whenever you felt like it, and it worked properly. Well, it's not that it doesn't work properly in this game. It's just that it's governed by the enemy and how much damage he has on him. Okay, and then on this Test of Valor here, I don't include the Test of Valor, but you would be very foolish not to do them, because not only can you keep all of the karma that you accrue during the Test of Valor, but after you leave it, you get a full heal. So it's actually quite nice. And I was able to upgrade the scythe to level 2. And the scythe to level 2 is very helpful because you get the on the ground 360Y spin attack with the scythe, and it demolishes the boss. The fight lasts just mere seconds. So this room with the ghosts over here, what I like to do is just throw shurikens to stun and bring them out of hiding, and then just go in for the lunar UTs. Bear in mind, the lunar cannot do steel on bones. When you go in for steel on bones with the lunar, it will do like counterattack sort of moves, and it can't do steel on bones or chains of steel on bones. So when you go through this door over here, the enemy that grabs you, if you want the most karma from him, equip something other than the lunar, because it won't give you the bonus for the execution if they do give you that. And another great move to get, which I'm going to pick up in the next chapter, is the meditation, because the meditation is a good way of regaining health that you've lost during a fight, to fill your health as much as you can right before you're graded at the end of a fight, because you have one option of either casting Nimpo near the end of a fight to kill the last few enemies to regain health, because if you didn't know, using Nimpo you get health back. Same with the steel on bones. You'll notice that every time you do a steel on bone, you get a little bit of health back. But it's not always predictable about how much health you're going to get, and you always seem to get not as much health as you want back, and it is dictated by the stronger types of Nimpo. Like the more key bar that has, you'll get more. The more enemies you kill with it, the more health you get back. But one thing you can do is to you can use the meditation to siphon your key into your health bar and give yourself as much health back as you can to fulfill that health requirement, because it's very strict. Like you have to have like 98 or more percent to get the S rank on health. But this is not a guide where we're going to be talking about the health. You know, I was very shocked there that I got 2 S's on that fight. That was very startling to see that, because I was just spamming UTs there. But yeah, here's the first of many region fights, and I'm just going to be doing the move that I recommended you do. He's already at half health, just on the ground, 360Y with the scythe. Dodge to the left here. Dodging to the right will get you caught up in his grab, and a grab on Ultimate Ninja difficulty, if you're not at full health, is a death sentence. So that is the ruination of that boss. And here's the ruination of some of our patience over here as we have to walk slowly. Don't you love walking slowly in games like this? But that is the end of the first day. There's also 2 days that have we'll have 2 different title cards. One will have the normal title card, and then the other will have like purple font on it, signifying that it's for Ayani's day. Unfortunately, we have to play as that character. But I will always leave the scorecard at the end of the videos for your perusal. And thank you very much for partaking in the walkthrough. I hope that it is going to help you out with what you need to do to clear Ultimate Ninja difficulty. And until I see you in the next video, please take care.